Hello, mathematicians. How are you today? So today we're going to continue with math workshop in the unit of fractions, and we're going to be taking it up in fractions. The teaching point today is mathematicians multiply fractions by whole numbers by using equations and visual models. So our goal for today is we want to multiply fractions. We want to also be able to convert improper fractions to mixed numbers, and we want to use models to represent our thinking. Some vocabulary that we want to have in mind is whole numbers, a fraction greater than 1, which is also known as an improper fraction, mixed numbers, denominator, numerator, and then of course we're going to be multiplying fractions. Let's look at the first anchor problem. And the first anchor problem is a word problem. So as we're doing this, we want to also keep solve in mind. So Rhonda exercised for 5-6 hours each day for 5 days. How many total hours did Rhonda exercise? All right. So first we want to think about the facts. So I laid out the facts here, S and O. So we want to make certain that we are studying the problem and we're organizing the information. So I wrote down Rhonda exercises for 5-6 of an hour daily. We need to find out the total amount of hours Rhonda exercises. She exercised for a total of 5 days, and so we need to find out the total amount of hours over the course of the 5 days. So I'm representing the information using a model. So what I did is I created a bar model to represent the amount that she ran each day. So we have a 5-6 per day, and so over the course of 5 days. And what I did here is I used a regular standard algorithm of addition to represent the number of miles she ran for over the course of 5 days. So we have a 5-6 5 times. 5-6 plus 5-6 plus 5-6 plus 5-6 equals to 25 over 6. We know it's an improper fraction, and so we will convert that. I can also use multiplication to represent this same equation. So as opposed to writing 5 over 6 5 times, I can write 5 over 6 times 5. Now, when I'm multiplying a fraction by a whole number, I only multiply the numerator by the whole number, and that brings me to my new numerator. So 5 times 5 is 25, and I keep the denominator the same. So 5 over 6 times 5 is equal to 25 over 6. Now this is an improper fraction, so I need to convert it. In order to convert it, I need to divide my numerator by my denominator. So that's 25 divided by 6, and I have a quotient of 4, remainder 1. So my whole number of 4 becomes my whole number in my mixed number. The remainder becomes my numerator, and the denominator of 6 is the same denominator of 6 in my mixed number. So Rhonda exercised a total of 4 and 1/6 hours. So let's look at anchor problem number 2. So it's asking us to write a multiplication expression equal to 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2. Then solve. So we have here 1/2 4 times. We have it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So we need to figure out how we can use this. How can we solve this using a bar model? So I first did an addition equation, 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2. I added my numerators. It gives me 4, and then I keep my denominator the same because when I'm adding or subtracting fractions, my denominator stays the same. So I have 4 over 2. I can also do this by multiplying 4 times 1 over 2. So I have 1/2 4 times, so I'm going to multiply it. I'm multiplying the whole number of 4 by the numerator, which gives me 4, and then I keep my denominator the same. It's an improper fraction, so I'm going to convert it. It's going to be 4 divided by 2, and that gives me 2. I also represented it using a model. So I have 1 whole, and I have 4 bars of 1 whole, and then I shaded in only half of it. All right, so let's look at an error analysis. So the error analysis problem says that Dylan models fractions. Which model below can be used to show 3 times 1/5? So we need to figure out what is the mistake that this student made. So we see here that we have 4 options. We have option A, which gives us 3 fraction bars divided by 5 parts, and then 1 is shaded in. So we know that we have 3 bars representing 1 out of 5 each. The second one is showing us 3 bars, which is divided into 3 parts, and 1 part is shaded in. So we have 3 bars representing 1/3 for each bar. And then option B here shows us that, is it B? Well, it's B. It says B here, but I actually solved it as C. So we have another bar fraction that represents 5 parts, that has 5 parts with 3 shaded in. So it's 3 out of 5, 3/5. So 3 bars of 3/5. And then we have 3 more bars shaded in, and it's 3 out of the 3 parts that are shaded in, which is equal to 1 whole for each. So it's 3 out of 3 or 1 whole. So the first thing we want to do is we want to solve it ourselves, and then we want to compare our answers and think about what was the error the student made. So after analyzing each bar model, I took notice that the first one, option A, represents 1 out of 1 out of 5, and they represented it 3 times. So I wrote an expression that says 3 times 1/5. For option B here, I have 1/3 3 times, so I represented 3 times 1/3. And then for option C, I have 3/5 represented 3 times, so it's 3 times 3/5. And then D, it's 3 representing 3/3, 3 times 3/3. So I know that I'm looking for an expression that represents a 3 and 1/5, so I know the answer would be A. So what I'm noticing is that the error the student made is that he or she did not read or represent the models accurately. So when you come across bar models, you want to take the time to really read the models. Think about what's the fractions shaded in, and then how many times is that fraction represented. So what I want you to do today is that you are going to log on to your Zearn account for 30 to 35 minutes, and I want you to work on lessons 35 and 36 because we want to achieve the goal of multiplying fractions, and we want to be able to use bar models and be able to use our skills with converting improper fractions to mixed numbers. Use your tools, reach out to discuss with a partner, self-assess your work, and then complete the exit ticket once you are done. If you have any questions, I am here to support you. Always leave a question in the comment section if you have any questions. I'll be happy to assist you. Good luck.